Okay.
Okay, I'm pinging you one link. You can just go to that particular link and you have to download the community edition. Okay. Basically, the IDE integrated development environment, like which we'll be using for like development of our Python application. So we can opt for the PyCharm Community Edition, which is a free version, which is free to use for us. Okay. And there is one more thing. Okay. These are the two things which we need to download. Like, I'll explain what is what. You people can just download it for now. Okay. It seems like we have 5 people, and I'm not sure if people are going to join or not. So let me just ping in group once, and we can start with the today's session. This will mess up my formats basically because it's 2003 version. Hopefully, it should give. Okay, it's coming. Okay, I think we have covered a till course plan in our demo session. Now we'll begin with the basics. Okay. In the meantime, hope you guys have like are downloading these two things which I have showed. One is PyCharm and one is Anaconda. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, at least respond in chat. If you are uncomfortable with speaking, you can say yes or no over chat as well until you guys get used to this. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. By the end of the class, we'll be closing these things, right? Will be these things will be installed here, and then we can proceed with the this installation and how you can make use of these things. Okay. So if you feel like it's difficult to install Anaconda, I can show you one more thing, which will be the Google Colab. Okay. Uh, you can just it is a browser based Python development IDE. You can go to this particular Google Colab and you can directly execute commands over there, all the Python commands. Okay. So for now, we can start with Colab. Okay. I'll show you things in Colab. This is basically the same thing. Like this is similar to Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebooks are kind of user-friendly Python like development IDE, which where we'll be having we can code in the form of cells. Okay, we can execute only the commands which we want on the go. In PyCharm, we need to create Python file projects and we need to kind of execute them like whole code. But here we can execute bits of code which we are trying out. So what you can do is you guys can also open this thing Google Colab. Just go to Google Colab. It will ask for your Gmail login, and then you can log in with that, and you can just create a new notebook over there. As soon as you open this Google Colab, it will ask for creating a new notebook. You just create a new notebook, and you are good to go with the Python development. Okay. And okay, we'll start with basics. Okay, of today. So the first and foremost thing which I would like to introduce in Python is the print statement. Okay, print is nothing but as name conveys, it will print something. Okay, it's similar to printer. In printer, if we are doing something, printing something, it will give us pages where will content is printed. So same thing in Python terms, whatever things which you would like to display to users, you can achieve that using print statement. Okay. Carefully observe, Python is case sensitive. This print And if you are keeping capital P here, then this will kind of throw up an error because Python is strictly case sensitive. We need to be what you say, we need to be careful with the case which we are using. So if I am giving print, and let's say this is my first program, and you just need to execute this. This is the kind of, I am executing only single command here. It will execute this command and it will give us the output. Okay. If you observe this, the Python will automatically highlight inbuilt keywords. Okay, there are few inbuilt keywords and inbuilt methods which Python will be kind of identifying it like automatically. If you observe that, what I did is just I have given print and I have enclosed them in brackets, parenthesis basically, and I'm giving some this thing input for it, which will be displayed to the user. So ideally, this is the user display, which is given by the print. So print is the statement which will be using for displaying content to the users. And one thing to note here is print will always accept content in string format. Okay, whichever you are doing here, even if you are giving it as a print 9, it will give us the string format of 9. The type of 9 will be outputted as string. Okay, this is the print. If I are going with capital P here, you can see the print statement is automatically highlighted in black, and you can see the name error, like name print is not defined. The reason being the Python is case sensitive. All the functions in Python, inbuilt functions in Python will be in lowercase. Okay. Next, second more important thing here is comments. Okay. Comments are basically which help us we are writing one code, and when we are giving, like when people are collaborating in team, the commenting is the most important aspect in Python. So we need to properly comment the code so that others will understand our program better. Okay. So now I have given print. This is my first program, that is code part. Right now I'm doing one more thing. So if I am executing this, this will be executed. And if I am inserting hash symbol over here, like pound symbol over here, and you'll see the whole code turned into green. This indicates that this is basically a comment. And if you execute this, nothing happens. Okay. Let's say I'm printing, this is first line. So if I am executing this code, you can see only this line and this line are printed. The reason being this is a commented one. So Python will treat it as a comment. So the main use of comments is to make users understand our code. You can, with each and every line which you are coding, all the important lines which you have in your code, those should be commented. Like this is my first line of code. So now when the moment others see your code, they'll understand this is your very first line of code by looking at the comment. Okay. You guys are following, right? Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm hearing only one yes from whole team. Yes, please respond. It's not any school or college stuff. Okay. Keep on responding. There's nothing wrong in responding. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Because I'll feel motivated. Please don't call me Star, just call me Mahesh. Okay. And coming to the multi-line comments, okay, this is a single line comment, okay, which we have seen. There will be cases where you need to write like number of lines of comments, okay. Let's say we have one function, and for for making user to understand that function, we can include a number of commented like number of comments at once. So from functions perspective, that is docstring. I'll be explaining it later on while creating function definitions. Okay. And for single comment, we'll be using hash, like this one, hash. For multi-line comment, we should go with like triple quotes basically. These are the triple quotes. Like we need to enclose comments in three, like triple quotes, and you can type anything here. So you can, this will span across multiple lines. Comments can span across multiple lines if we are using triple quotes. Okay, got it right. So these are the this is the second important thing, and the third important thing here is indentation. So indentation is nothing but the way like Python follows for using like when we are using flow control statements, or when we are using these what you say for loops or others or function definitions. Python will follow indentation. In our case, Python will follow four spaced indentation. Let's say we have if 10 greater than 5. This is basically an if loop. Okay, if you type, the Python will automatically indent it 4 times when it is entering into the if loop. If you see here, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, basically it will be indenting it 4 times. Like Python indentation will have 4 spaces. We should indent all our code within loops or other flow control statements or functions with 4 spaces. Or you can just go with a simple tab. Simple tab will do that for us, okay? And then we'll come to the variables, okay? So variables are nothing but containers, okay? Containers for storing values. If we are defining any, like if we need to assign any value and we need to place it in our code so that we can use it later on, we can make use of variables. So if you see the code example here, a is equal to 8. This is like straightforward. What you are doing here is you are defining a variable a and you are assigning value of 8 to that. So as we have covered in Python, like demo session, Python is dynamically typed. So you don't need to specify what type of value we are holding here. The Python will automatically, what you say, determines the data type of this. If you see here, a is equal to 8. 8 is nothing but integer value. This is a numeric value. So Python will automatically allocates memory in its memory space for holding this integer value. So Python will be having different memory requirements for different data types. If we are going with integer value, accordingly it will assign memory for storing the integer value, and it will store value of 8, and it will be assigned to the variable name a. This is basically variable name or identifier, and this will be our value. So this is just straightforward. Like you can a is equal to 8. Sorry. If I am giving print of a, it will print me 8. Okay. So basically, we are just defining a variable a and we are assigning value of 8. So whenever we are accessing this variable, it will return us the value which we have assigned to that. And same thing. This is amount is equal to INR 200. Okay. So can anyone tell me what will be the data type for this? Like what Python will determine like data type for this variable? Anyone, any idea? Like any guesses?
No idea.
I'm audible, right?
Yes, yes,
I
Abhi.
think all of us are in mute. I'm not sure why. Yeah, Guru, you can go ahead. Like you can guess what will be the data type for this.
Actually, no idea.
Okay, okay. That's fine. We'll execute it in IDE itself. Okay. Let's say we have variable of amount. Variable name here is amount, and I'm assigning value of 200 to this. So if I am executing this, this will throw an error to me. This will throw up error saying that INR 200 is not defined. Even though we have 200 rupees, like from a variable name, we can understand that this is nothing but Indian rupees 200, which we are assigning to amount. But the data type here, if you see this INR, this is a string one. Okay, this is not a number, and Python will be like won't be able to determine the data type. So if we are enclosing them in a string, now Python will accept it. And if we are printing this, it will print up INR 200. Okay. This is basically string. Anything apart from number, which if we are enclosing it in a, if we are not enclosing it in a quotes, Python will throw up error. Okay. It should be only numbers, like it may be 200 or it may be 200.56, which will be a floating point number or decimal value. So anything apart from this, if we are including, it will throw up an error for us. Okay. We'll cover more in the data type section. What are the data types available and what are the things? Okay. Now coming to the variable names. So you have seen this is A is the variable name and 8 is the value which we are assigning to the variable. So in Python, there is no restriction on the length of the variable. You can have variable name of any length. Okay. There is no restriction. It won't keep any restrictions while defining a variable. Okay, you can, if you see, I have given this long variable. This is my first variable for Python class, and the variable value is 1234. And Python won't throw up any error. It will just print this. If I am, it will just accept the variable name, and it is printing me the 1234. So there is no restriction on the length of the variable. Okay, but the name should be descriptive. Whichever variable we are defining, that should be descriptive. In the sense, by looking at the variable name, people should understand what variable is holding. Okay. Let's say by looking at the variable here, any new, like anyone who is new to your code, if you are looking at this, they can easily understand that this variable is related to amount and it is holding some monetary information, which is nothing but money information. Okay. The variable name should be descriptive. And also the variables should adhere to the page standards. Nothing but like there are some predefined page standards like which are defined by the Python developer community. Those are some good practices which a Python developer should follow. Our code should kind of follow the page standard so that the code will be more like easy to understand and code will be structured more in more organized manner. Okay. We can cover a lot of page standards when we are going through different concepts. So for now, I am giving some good practices and good standards which we need to follow when defining a variable. Okay. So variable must start with a letter or underscore. If you observe this, in all this my this thing, I haven't included any special symbols. Okay. I'm just giving some letters and underscores. So Python variable should always start with a letter or underscore. We can also have underscore. I will give underscore second variable. If you see this, Python won't throw any error because we can start it with either letter or either underscore. There is a special meaning for this underscore and double underscore in Pythonic terms. Okay, we'll cover it later when we are going through the object-oriented programming classes. Okay, for now, just remember we can start Python variable name should start only with a letter or underscore. Okay, and then it cannot start with any number. This is a strict this thing. Python will throw up error. If you are defining any variable with a number in the beginning, the Python will just throw up an error. Okay. Let's say 3 variable 3 is equal to. So Python will throw up error. If there is, if variable is if variable contains number in the very beginning, Python won't accept it. But this number can be in between or in the end anywhere. This won't throw up error now. Okay. Python, it should always start with the letter or underscore, and you can include numbers or underscores within that. And it shouldn't start with any special character apart from dash, like underscore or this thing. Can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscores. As I said, variable should contain only alphanumeric, like they may be alphabets or they may be numbers and underscores, only underscores. Okay, nothing else. No other symbols are accepted here. You can assign variables in this format. If I am giving some other symbol here like minus or plus, Python will throw up an error. The reason being, it will treat minus as subtraction and plus as addition operator. Okay. So variable name should only contain numbers, letters, and underscores. Okay. Okay, names are case sensitive. As I said, Python is strictly case sensitive. Okay. So in Python, amount is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And I'm giving some random number. So the first variable, which is amount, and second variable also same amount, but we have capital A here. Okay. And I have one more variable, which is amount. So all the three things here, like these, even though the names are same, the cases are different. Like this is a plain case, like a lower case. This is one kind of titular amount, and this is kind of includes some capital letters in between. So Python treats all the three as different variables. Okay. If I'm printing them, so if I'm printing them, it will print three different values. Okay. So it's strictly case sensitive. We have to be very careful while assigning and using our variables. We need to pay concentration to the case which we have used for defining the variable. Okay. And it cannot be any of the Python keywords. There are some inbuilt keywords in Python. Okay. We can't use those for defining our variable. Okay. For example, we have this sum is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm trying to define this variable. Okay. And if I'm executing this, it will execute without any issues. Okay. Sorry, not this one. Okay. Let's say int is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. It's executing right now. If I am trying to now it is a integer type. Okay. Now let's say int of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5. Now, if you see here, int object is not callable. Okay, the reason being when I have assigned 1, 2, 3, 4 to int int, okay, it has taken and it is given like a type of integer as integer type. And if I'm printing this, it will print the value as well. The real problem here is the integer over here. This is a inbuilt data type of Python. Okay. Python won't throw up error when we are doing this operation. But when I am performing this particular operation here, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to convert a decimal number into integer number using int. Okay. Python will throw up error to me. So similar thing, let me have sum of 1 plus 2 plus 3. So if you observe, okay, okay, I think I have already assigned a sum to this thing, right? Just let me restart runtime once. So why I'm getting this error over here is, if you remember, sum is equal to 1, 2, 3. I have made that assignment before this int assignment, right? So that's the reason I'm kind of unable to do this thing. I think the runtime is restarting. Let the runtime restart. I can show like what we are kind of trying to achieve here. Okay, it's still not restarted. Okay, so for now you can infer from this, right? Like this is the inbuilt Python keyword which we use for integer conversion, like type conversion, and to denote integer values. And if we are assigning any, like if we are creating any variable with the same name, which is part of Python inbuilt keywords, then we might get into big troubles in our what you say production programs or these things. Okay, I think it's still let me disconnect, restart and run now. Okay, that's fine. Okay, just remember there are few Python keywords which we shouldn't use. Like we have some int, float, print, and we have string, and we have abs, which will be absolute. Okay, there are lots and lots of Python keywords which we can't use. Okay, sorry, this is the reason being here is sum of 1, 2, 3. Sorry, my bad. So this is basically a sequence of integers here, and I am trying to get sum of this. I can just do that using sum of this sequence of integers. Okay, and if I'm trying to I'll just comment it out and try it out here. Let's say sum is equal to 456. Okay. Now I have made some assignment to sum. I have used the sum as variable name and I have assigned 456 to this variable. Now if you try to execute this, it will throw up error saying that int object is not callable. The reason being we have taken sum as a variable name and we are assigning integer value to that. Okay. And if I'm trying to use that somewhere in my code, sum, which is inbuilt function of Python, it will show throw up this error saying that int object is not callable. The reason being sum is initialized as integer in our program. Okay. So variable names strictly they cannot be any Python keywords. Okay. And you can see like we can initialize multiple variables in a single line. Okay, till now you have seen like I have used a is equal to 8, amount is equal to some 1, 2, 3. So those are single variable assignments. Okay, I can kind of assign multiple variables at once. Okay, initialize multiple variables, like we can initialize n number of variables in a single line. And also we can kind of initialize any number of variables with the same value. If you see here, A is equal to B equal to C equal to 79. Basically, it will assign value of 79 to all A, B, and C variables. And there are some other ways of initializing variables as well. Like we can take all the variables into one list, which is basically collection, which is a data type in Python. Okay, you can take sequence of values in some collection, and you can just assign them at once. Here in this case, if you see X, Y, Z is equal to fruits, what this assignment will do, it will assign variable X to value apple, and Y will be initialized with banana, and Z will be initialized with cherry. Okay, let's see practically. Okay, sorry, I should use equal to here. So if you see here, I have taken three fruits, which are banana, orange, and kiwi, into a collection. Okay, sequence of fruits, and I'm just initializing three variables with three fruits here. Okay, and if you print it, it will throw up these things: banana, orange, kiwi, which are assigned to F1, F2, and F3. Okay, now coming to global and local variables. So regarding variables, we have two concepts, like variables scope basically. There are two scopes for a variable, which will be global scope and local scope. Okay. As name suggests, global is nothing but it's global, whole globe. Okay. Global variable can be accessed across the entire program. So if you are defining a global variable, you can access it from anywhere inside within program. But when it comes to local variable, it is limited to function. They'll be their scope will be local. They'll be defined locally. Okay, they can't come outside of that function or class where we have defined. Okay. For instance, if you see this here, whichever variable definitions which we have made till now, those are global. The reason being we are defining them outside the local scope. We are defining them within program. The scope of this variable will be global to whole this program. Okay, you can access it anywhere in the program. But let's say I have one function with me and I am defining one more variable here. Okay, which will be local variable. Okay, this is nothing but a function. I will cover more in the functions. Like this is one of the most important aspect in Python. We can cover about it. Like for now, just you can remember it as a small function which is doing something over here. Okay. Now I have defined local variable within this function, right? If I'm trying to access that now, print of local variable. You can see name local variable is not defined. The reason being this local variable which we have initialized within this function, this will be staying only in the scope of this function. This function is local to this function. Sorry, this variable is local to this function. It won't be accessible from outside the function. Okay, this scope of this variable is within this function. As soon as the function gets completed, like the scope of this function also will be terminated over there. And if I try to access any of the variable which I have defined over here, like let's say I'm taking amount, I'm trying to access this here, you'll be able to access. The reason being amount is global, basically it is global to whole program, whereas local variable, it is global to only function. Like this scope of this variable won't be appearing after this function is completed. So this is the global and local variable concept. Even we'll dive into deep when we are discussing these functions and classes, okay, regarding this global and local variables and how we can access any local variables and how we can define any. Let's say we have this function over here and I have defined one function. I wanted this to be a global function, okay? Global function. If I am say we have this variable, I'm trying to print something here, okay, which is nothing but fruits. I have already defined like a initialized fruits variable and I'm trying to print fruits here. Okay. And if I am calling this function, you can see this is fruits. We have this fruits here, right? This is kind of global. The global in the sense this is accessible in the entire program from anywhere you can access this. Okay. And within this function, I am accessing the fruits. But this function is defined within the same program, right? So this is a basically global variable and you can easily use this, okay, here. And if I need to use a local variable uh, within function, if I whatever variables I'm initializing within function, those will be local variables, okay. If I want to define a global variable inside a function, I need to use the word global. If you see this global local variable, okay, this global keyword will make variable like global to the whole function. And now, if you carefully observe, this is the local variable which I am initializing within function. And Before doing this initialization, I am defining like like defining it as a global one. I'm just saying this variable which I am defining inside function should be global. I'm just printing this. Okay, I'm just executing that. Still, okay, we need to basically initialize the function. Now you can see this. The reason why it throw error before is whenever we are defining a function, to make it effective, we need to execute that function. Okay. Here, what I did is if I am removing this return over here, return is nothing but function will return something, or it may not also return something. Like we can just have a function. And if I'm running test function, it will do nothing. And if I'm trying to access the variable now, which is defined within function, I'll be able to do this. The reason being, using global keyword, we have made this variable global to the entire program, even though it is defined within the function. Okay. Now, okay, we'll move on to the memory allocation. So far we have seen what is a variable and how Python will store that. Like we know that we are initializing a variable and we are assigning some value to that. Okay, but we don't know how Python is managing it like behind the picture. So this is a brief in the sense very brief, so that just will be kind of having quick idea what happens when variables are defined. Okay, Python memory allocation and memory management, that is kind of more advanced stuff. If time permits, we can kind of go into that in the what you say after the course is completed. For now, that's not needed. That is for system design and architecture architect purpose. So for now, I'm going with just a brief intro about how memory allocation is done in the Python. Okay. So if you see here, I have this variable a is equal to 10. And I also have variable b is equal to 10. So variables b, a and b are basically holding the same value here. Okay. Same value, which is of integer type. Okay. Now, what Python will do when I have defined a is equal to 10, it will assign some memory location for a. In this memory map, Python will assign this memory location for variable a, and it will be storing value of 10 over here. Okay. And when I am defining one more variable, which is b, and I am assigning same value of 10 to this, what Python will do, instead of creating a new memory for this, instead of allocating new memory, Python will be just pointing this variable to this memory location, because both are using same value and both are having same data type. And what Python will basically do, it will just route it to the same memory location. So when it comes to C, CPP and other languages, they'll be assigning one memory location for each variable. Okay, one memory location for each variable which we are defining. In case of Python, due to this its dynamic nature, it will be kind of allocating same memory if we have same value for different variables. And I'll show you how it is, how we can check that. And now I have A and B defined. When B is equal to 10, it is pointed to this memory location. Now, after some point of time, I am kind of assigning a variable of 17. Like I am reassigning value of 17 to the variable B. Now what happens? Since the value is changed, the memory allocation also will be completely changed. Now the B will be pointed to this memory location where Python will be storing the value of 17. Okay, clear, right? Now let me show it programmatically how we can do that. Okay. let's say I have a is equal to or else var1. This is nothing but variable 1, which is 10. Var2, okay. Var2 also 10. Var3 10.0 and print id of var1 comma id of var2. Okay. There will be few things which you might not understand when I'm doing, so don't worry, we'll be covering them, okay, going forward, okay. So let's just print IDs of these three variables here. So now what I'm basically doing here is I have defined var1. Okay, I have defined variable 1 with value 10, variable 2 with variable same value, and then I have variable 3 with same value 10.0. And then I have variable, what I'm doing, I'm printing the ID. So basically ID of variable gives the memory location where it is being stored. And then I am assigning value of 15 to variable 2, which I have initialized here, and I'm trying to print the ID again, memory location. So if you see this, variable 1 is having 138924003443336, and variable 2 is also having same memory location. So basically variable 1 and variable 2 both are pointing to the same memory location where we have value of 10. In variable 3 also holds same value 10, but the format of like the data type of variable 3 is floating point, which is decimal. First two are integers, third one is decimal. Okay, Python will be having different memory allocations for different data types. Since the variable 3 is decimal, it won't treat it as same as variable 1 and 2. And if you can see here, it has assigned new memory location. Variable 1 and 2 are having same memory location, and variable 3 is having different memory location. The reason being the data type of variable 3 is different from variable 1 and 2, even though the value it's holding is same. And after this, what I did, I have reassigned value of 15 to variable 2. And when I am trying to print it, like memory location, now you can observe that memory location has been changed. Okay. As soon as variable 2 is assigned with new value different from this variable 1's value, the Python will give like allocate new memory for this. So due to this behavior, the Python's memory management is more efficient because let's say we are defining 10 variables which holds same sort of same value. In that case, what it will do, Python will be pointing each and everything to the same memory location. Okay. Clear, right? Regarding memory location. Hello. Any doubts in memory allocation section? Hello.
No doubts, Mahesh.
I think only Banu is active over here. Just speak up. No, like if you are comfortable with Telugu, you can also speak up in Telugu. The only reason I'm going in English is so that it will be kind of you'll become fluent in like English communication, especially when attending Python interviews. Okay, you can interrupt and you can speak up in Telugu as well if you are uncomfortable with English. Okay, now the it's already 10. Okay, but since we have started very lately. So if it's okay, like, can we extend this for 15 more minutes? Can we continue this till 10:15 or 10:20 if you guys are okay? So now the data types. Till now we have seen the variables and I have done many things over there. Like I have assigned value of 8, I have assigned some text value, and I have assigned some decimal value to data type. So those are basically different data types. Okay. Data types are nothing but the type of data which we are holding in a variable or Python memory. Okay. So these are the major data types available in Python. These are the major data types available in Python. Okay, the first and foremost one is numeric types. Okay, numeric types are integers and float. Float is nothing but decimal, and then we have some complex numbers as well. Like if you have like in our high school mathematics and all, we have this 3 plus 5j sort of complex numbers. So even those will be considered as numeric types in Python. Okay. Three numeric types: integer, float, and complex. So, and then we have text type. Text type is nothing but plain text, which will be storing. It's kind of plain English stuff, which is for holding text types, we have string. Text type in Python will be string types. All the strings are referred as words or text in Python. And then we have sequence type. Sequence types are kind of more complex ones, which will be holding collection of objects. Okay. There are some list, tuple, range. This is just overview. We'll be covering each and every data type separately. Okay. And then we have mapping types. Mapping types are nothing but dictionary. Dictionary in the sense, if you, it's similar to traditional dictionary, where we'll be having word and its meaning, right? Similarly, in Python, we'll be having key and value. There will be key and value pairs. Okay. Let's say we are having one dictionary of names dictionary with us. So in that key value will be name of the, like, a key value will be the person and like whatever it is, like roll number or something, and value will be his actual name actually. Okay. Let's say we have roll number 1 and it will be having one name. Roll number 2 will be having different name. So this is dictionary. And then we have set and frozen set. Set types. Set types are like pretty much similar to list, but there are few like properties are different from list. Okay, we'll walk through the set type as well. And then we have Boolean types, which are like true and false. There are only two types in Boolean type, which is a true and false. And then we have binary types like byte array, like byte array. Those are kind of byte encoded thing. There will be kind of zeros and ones, which are kind of bytes basically. And then we have none type. None type is nothing but, as name suggests, it is none. There won't be anything within that. Like it is kind of empty value. We can assign for initializing variables without any value. We can kind of use none keyword. Okay. So today we'll be covering numeric types. Okay, I'll just cover numeric types and we'll be closing today's session. Okay. Coming to numeric types, the first type in numeric is integer. Integer is kind of normal integer values without any decimal places. Okay, holds integer value of any size. Like a is equal to 8. 8 is nothing but an integer or like simple number. And if you see b, it's some really long one. Okay. So in Python, like from Python 3.x, okay, in Python 3, basically there are two major Python versions. One is Python 2 and one is Python 3. Nowadays, Python 2 is kind of almost disappeared from industry. We are using only Python 3. So since Python 2, until Python 2, we have different types: integer type and long type. Okay, integer type is used for simple integer values, and long type is used for like very long integer values. Okay, numbers basically. From Python 3, both are combined into a single integer. Okay, now integer in Python 3 will be able to hold any like number of like integer of any length. Okay. And second is float. Float is nothing but holding it. Float will hold floating point or decimal values. So decimal values are nothing but where we have decimal places within number like 8.278. This is a decimal value. Okay. And then complex types. As I said, we have this complex numbers, right? Where we'll be having a real and imaginary part. This is real and this is imaginary, right? In complex numbers. We should have come across this in our high school. So next is binary types. So binary type, it will contain only zeros and ones. Okay. We might have come across these binary types as well. Like we'll be having this logic gates if you are from electronics background, and even in computers background, we'll be performing these binary operations, right? And or operations. So basically, this is kind of nothing but if you see this 0b, 0b is the Python's convention to understand this is a binary number. And if you see 1101, this is the binary format for number 13. Okay. Number 13 in decimal, like numeric number 13 is equivalent to 1101 in binary format. Same thing hexadecimal literals. Okay. In hexadecimal is similar to binary, but here it is the range of hexadecimal will be more. Okay. If you see here 0x, all the hexadecimal literals or numbers in Python will be starting with 0x. If we are defining any hexadecimal number, it should start with 0x so that Python interpreter will understand that we are defining a hexadecimal number. And this EFF is nothing but the value. So this 0x EFF is equivalent to 3839. So the 3839 number is equal, like in hexadecimal, this is equivalent to EFF. Okay. These are the basically numeric types. Let's practically define some types here. Okay. Now let's say this is a is equal to 8. This is a simple integer. So we can check type of variable, like data type of the variable which we have defined using this type keyword. So type keyword is used to check the data type of the variable which we have defined. So now type of A is like A is equal to 8, right? Type of A is integer. Now I can go up really long over here. Okay, I can define number of any length over here, and Python won't have any restriction. And if I am typing like getting type, it is still an integer. Okay. The reason being there are no decimal places within this. Now let's say I have kept some decimal place here. If you see here, this is the number part, numeric part, and this is the decimal part. Now the type of wave will be automatically converted to float. The reason being, before this we have given like simple number without any decimal places in that. Now I'm defining a decimal places, like all these thing is a decimal part. So that's the reason Python will be interpreting it as a float. If you observe, we are not defining any data type before initializing variable. Like in C and CPP, what we'll be doing is we need to define the type of variable when initializing, like int of A, float of B, sort of things. But in Python, like it will automatically determine what is what. Okay. And the third one is we have this 7 plus 8j. If you see this type of A now, this is a complex one. Okay. It will treat it automatically as complex. Now I can get real and imaginary parts as well from this. Okay. A dot real. Okay. Sorry. If you see here, this is a complex number. And within complex number, we are having two different things. This is real part and this is imaginary part. This is imaginary part. We can also access them using this real and like keywords, a dot real and a dot imaginary. So these are kind of very lessly used for us. So anyways, you just need to be aware of the things, right? So that's why I'm doing that. And then we have Boolean types. Okay. Boolean types are nothing but there are only two types in Boolean. One is true and one is false. As name suggests, true refers to the conditions. When the condition is true, it will evolve to true. When it's false, it will evolve to false. So these are kind of most important things to control the flow, like flow of the statements. We have this flow control statements, right? If else statements and while statement. When using those statements, this will become kind of very handy. We can define conditions within flow control statements using true and false. Okay. And if you see bool of well, always true. So this bool is nothing but boolean. Boolean of anything here, anything except zero. Okay. Bool of zero will be false and anything apart from zero, it will be true. In Python, zero is false and any other number, any number, it might be negative, it might be positive. Apart from zero, each and every number will evolve to true. Same is the case with strings or other these things. If we have empty string and if we are evaluating it using bool, the empty string will be false. Okay, if we are just creating an empty string without any letters in that, then it will evolve to false. Okay, and if there is any, if there is a single character in string, then it will evolve to true. Okay, and then we have none type here. None type, as I said, it will assign empty value. If I am defining a is equal to none, it will store nothing, but it will have some memory allocated to that. Okay. None is assigned to like used to assign empty values. Let's say if you are not sure which value you need to assign, but you need some variables. Let's say you need 5 variables which you are defining in the beginning of the program, which you might use in the later part of the program. In that case, what you can do is you can just assign a none value to that variable. Okay. It will do nothing. Now we can see that practically we have bool on this thing, right? So if you type true or if you type false, it will kind of automatically determine the data type here. True. You can just have if true. Okay. If true, print of a. If you see here, if true, true is nothing but a condition. If statement in Python will always try to check for conditions, and if condition is true, then it will go inside this if loop. And if true, true is condition, and if it's checking for condition, is condition is true, and then that's the reason it's printing this number a, sorry, variable a. And if we give if false, it will just skip this. Okay. Now let's say we can also use it for checking some conditions. Okay, if you see, first we'll consider bool. So if we see bool of zero, bool of zero is nothing but zero is the number. So anything apart from zero will be true and zero will be false. Bool of zero is false here. Okay, you can type any number and it will make true. Whatever number we are giving, Python will consider it as a true. Let's say if we are developing a calculator program and the return value is 0 or non-zero. When we are having 0, the program should return false, and when we are having other numbers, the program will return true. And we have this string as well. Let's say we have, this is empty string. Okay, I haven't given anything here. If you see here, empty string of 0 length is nothing but false. Okay, and if I'm giving something over here, in this case, if you can see the within string, let's say these are not numbers. Okay, I'm giving some word over here. Even if it is of the single letter, the Python will consider it as a non-empty string and it will return true for us. Okay, and we can also evaluate conditions. So 7 less than 8. This is basically condition. So 7 less than 8 is true basically, and 7 equal to 8. This will, okay, sorry, this is assignment. 7, we are just trying to check if 7 is equal to 8 or not, and it will evolve to false. If 7 is not equal to 8, you'll get true. So basically, Boolean types are used for checking the conditions within the conditional and flow control statements. Okay. And then we have none, right? Let's say we have A is equal to none. If you observe here, if this is case sensitive. If you are giving small none, then it will throw up error saying that none is not defined. So none keyword will always starts with capital N and it should be none. So what Python is doing, it is assigning empty variable to none here. If I'm trying to print A here, it won't print anything. It will print, this is just none, right? It will return none. It is not holding any sort of value here. Okay. If you see here, I'm trying to access A and it did nothing. And if I'm trying to take ID of A, which is the memory location, the memory allocated for this A, you can see that this memory location is allocated to variable A. So when we are having some variables which we need to define, predefine before starting our program, like A is equal to B is equal to C. So we wanted to define three variables in the beginning of the program, and we should kind of just initialize them without any values. You can just assign them to null and make use of them in the later part. Okay. So we are good, right? Till this part. Hello. So I'll be concluding today's session with this till this, and we can continue with other things in the next class. So now, okay, if you have any sort of questions or any queries, you can come up with them now. Hello. Okay, I'll go turn by turn. Guru Vishnu, you can unmute your like mic and you can speak up.
Yeah,
Did you
no doubts.
understand the things which I have explained today, or like, do you have any other doubts or queries?
No doubts. Thank you.
You are good, right?
Yes.
And Varshita, I'm coming in order which I am seeing in my screen. Varshita, I'm audible, right? Hello. Varshita, you can speak. Why are you hesitating to speak up? Okay. There's nothing harm in speaking, right? Okay. She's responding over chat. Okay. And then we have Konda Reddy. Konda Reddy, you are good, right? With today's things.
Hi, Anna.
Yeah. Do you have any doubts?
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
You are good with the things, right? Like you understood everything which I have explained.
Yes, sir.
And then Arun.
No doubts.
Arun.
Sir, no doubts.
Okay. Banu.
No doubts, Mahesh.
Okay. Just call me Mahesh. Okay. Don't call me Sir. Or if you are kind of uncomfortable, you can just call me Anna. Okay. And then, okay. I think I can have some evolution now. Okay. Before that, we'll proceed with the software installation. Okay. So that you guys can practice the things which I have told. Okay. The first thing is you can go to this thing, collab at research.google.com. I'm thinking that who is having their laptop with them, like who is having laptop handy with them. Okay. I think Varshita is unable to unmute her mic. That's fine, Varshita. Okay. Banu, do you have laptop with you? Hello.
I have lab, but I need to repair it. Then I will install the setup later.
Sorry.
I will install the setup later because
No, no,
I
that's fine. Guru, you can do one thing. Just share your screen.
actually my laptop is in repair.
Okay, okay. Banu, what about you? Do you have laptop with you? Banu. Arun?
Yes, Mahesh. I have laptop with me.
Okay, can you share your screen once? Just open the meeting window here, okay? And you can just click on share content and share your screen. I'll guide like how to open this collab and how we can kind of do this, okay?
Okay,
Just click here, okay? Now, since I'm already sharing, you'll see this stop like sharing. So, right to the mic, you'll get that share option. Okay, just share your screen once, and I can guide so that people also
Mahesh,
can.
I have poor.
Sorry, sorry, one.
Okay, Mahesh.
You are sharing one.
Mahesh, I have some network issues. This is not opening.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me spin up a incognito window, and I'll show you. Because instead of installing this Anaconda, you can just go with the Google Colab. Because Anaconda, it's taking a lot of time for download. And okay, I think it's passing basically. Sorry. Okay, now it's downloading. Okay, now first I'll start with the setup of PyCharm. So I have already pinged the link to download, and you need to download the PyCharm community, which will be the free version, which you can use for Python development. Okay. Okay. You are able to see my screen, right? Hello. Hello.
Yes, Mahesh. Yes, Mahesh,
Okay, it's
visible.
visible. Okay. You just need to download the file from PyCharm. Okay. Let me show this once again. Okay. This is the PyCharm, right? And if I'm going to download option, just open the link over here, click on download, and you'll see the PyCharm Professional, which is kind of paid one. You just need to have the second one, which is the PyCharm Community Edition, which will be completely free for developing our Python applications. Okay, just click on download, and it will download this exe file into our downloads folder. This will be PyCharm Community and this thing application. Okay. And you just need to double click on that. Once you double click, it will take you to the admin console, this permission, requesting admin permission, and you just click on yes, and this will bring up this window. Just to like, don't do anything, just keep on clicking next, and if needed, you can create here. We have this create associations, right? You can just check it. What this will do is, whichever .py file. .py is nothing but Python files. Python code files will be .py files, and this will be kind of if it encounters any .py files, if you open that file, it will automatically bring up the PyCharm. Okay, and add folder as a project. Okay, you can click all these things, all the three things over here, and you don't need this for now. Just ignore it for now, and just click on next. And if you click on install, it will just install it. Okay. Okay, it will take some time to install. Okay. Till the time it installs, okay, what we can do, I'll just, I'll just open this. Okay. Okay, I think it might take some time to install. In the meantime, what I am doing here is these are the variables which I have initialized. Okay, and I want you to identify the type of this variable. Okay, hello. I think we have first here Guru. Guru Vishnu, am I audible to you?
Yes.
Okay, Guru, this is your turn. Okay, we have this A is equal to 3.456. So what will be the data type for this variable? Like you can share your opinion. Like what will be the data?
Float, that will be float.
Okay, this will be float, right? Yeah, that's correct basically. Okay. And then we have Varshita. Varshita, if you are unable to unmute, you can just type over chat. Like what will be the data type for this variable B? Okay. She said it is string. Since it is a word, it will be string. And then we have Kondareddy. Like Kondareddy, like what will be the type of variable C?
Numerically types.
Okay, integer, right?
Yeah, integer.
Okay, integer. And then we have variable D. Arun, sorry. Arun, what will be the type of variable D? Hello, Arun?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm audible, right? So, what will be the data type for variable D?
Mm, and it is variable.
Sorry, data type. See, D is already variable. What will be the data type? Whether is it integer, string, or float, or other data type? I think we have covered only these data types, right? No, integer, float, and then boolean.
Boolean.
I
Hello.
think
So
you got
this is
some
a
confused. Yeah, Kondarati, you are saying something.
this is error data type, sir.
Okay, yeah. Don't, please call me Mahesh. Okay, don't call me sir. So basically, it will throw up error. The reason
Mm.
being, we are just giving this $123 and we are not enclosing it in any quotes. If you observe this, all the string values which we are assigning to variables that should be in the quotes. The quote may be single quote or it may be double quote. Okay, it will throw error basically. If you are enclosing it in double quotes, now this will be become string. Okay, within string can contain anything. There won't be any rules. It can contain any symbol, numbers, letters, or any other things. So now it will become a string data type. And the final one,
Mm.
Bhanu, what will be the
Boolean,
data type
Mahesh.
for this? Okay, okay, this
Boolean.
will be Boolean. Yeah, correct. I think hopefully you are kind of following me. I can sense that. Okay, now coming to this, I think it's already completed. I'm kind of just finishing it and it will open up the PyCharm. So if you click those three things, you'll notice this PyCharm Community Edition in your desktop, okay? And just accept these license terms and agreements and just click on that. It will bring up the PyCharm home console for us. Okay, this is the PyCharm window which you will have with you. So in PyCharm, each and everything will be organized into projects. Okay, project is nothing but a folder. So to start with our practice, just click on new project and you have this path. If you are not comfortable with this, you can just choose any like data desktop location. So for now, I am going with the desktop location. Okay, I have user and then I have desktop. In desktop, I am creating a new folder, okay, which will be my Python training. Okay, this is my Python training project. Okay, ignore each and every, ignore other things. Okay, just give the location of this and just click create. What it will do, it will kind of create a new project with Python, like name as Python training. And if you observe the desktop, you can see the folder Python training over here. If you open the Python training function, I think it's yet to, okay. Yeah, for the very first time, it will take some time because it will be kind of configuring its Python. At backend, what PyCharm will be doing, it will be installing Python for us. We don't need to do that. From the next time, we can kind of, it won't take that much time. Okay. Now, if you see this, this was created. Okay. So if you open this folder now, the desktop Python training, you can see this has created two things. One is virtual environments and one is main. So what PyCharm is trying to do is it is trying to create a main function with the like a main function which will be kind of the main entry point for each and every project. Okay. So for now, just ignore this. So just remember only one thing, PyCharm will consider every folder as a project, and within project, we can have our own files, Python files. Even this virtual environment, just ignore it. It is kind of bit advanced, which is kind of, it will create a virtual isolated environment for our development. Okay. Now I am clicking on this folder over here and I am creating new file, new Python file. Okay. And you can give name Python basics or else Python, yeah, basics. Now, if you see here, Python basics.py, we have created a file named Python basics.py. And within this, I can do the very first thing, which is print. Hello, this is my first line of programming journey. Okay. Everyone will type introduce us with hello world, but we can go with our own. Like this is my first line of Python programming journey. Okay, this will be the very first line you'll be coding in your Python file. Okay, and just once this is done, just carefully observe here. By default, it will consider main as the current file, running file. You just need to select the current file over here and click on run. You have this run python basics.py, right? You can either click on this button, which will be running us, or else you can just type shift F10. Okay, shift and F10. But just you can click on this whenever you need to execute. And this is the terminal window, console basically, where you can see, hello, this is my first line of Python programming and process is finished. Okay. Now we can have A is equal to 8, B is equal to 10.5, C is equal to I am a string. Okay. And okay, what I am doing now, I have created three variables ABC and I'm just printing them. Okay. Now you can see, hello, this is my first line of Python programming. And then we have 8, 10.5 and I am string. Okay. We can have some complex things as well if needed. Okay. Let's say print A plus B. And you can see that what it's doing, it is performing addition operation within print statement and it is giving us the result of 18.5. Okay, fine, right? Hello.
Yes, Mahesh.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
understand.
Okay, so you can do this thing. You can just install PyCharm and you can just create a project and you can print on your own. Like you can kind of play with the stuff like variables, what are these things and what are the different data types. You can play with them. Okay.
Okay, Mahesh.
Okay, so any questions regarding software installation or like if you are kind of facing any issues or something, so tomorrow let's for the next session, let's plan uh, that just keep everything ready like this Python like pycharm.exe everything ready. So if you are facing any sort of issues, we can kind of just go on screen share and we can kind of resolve. And for those who are coming to institute physically, so you can just bring your laptops and if you are facing any issues with this installation, we can sort it out and you can start with the practice. Okay.
Okay, Mahesh.
Yeah. And for now to refresh, if you are unable to install this, just go through this recording and install that. If you are unable to install this, you can just open this collab dot research dot google dot com, right? I'm just opening it in incognito window. So if I am opening it, it will just ask you for your Gmail account. Probably you will be having your Gmail accounts with you, right? You just need to log in with your Gmail user like email and password, and then you can create a new notebook. The moment you open this, it will be asking, it will be giving you a welcome window, and it will be asking here. If I am clicking on new notebook, it will immediately create a new notebook. Okay. And you can just start practicing and start exploring like few things which we have covered today. And after this, you can just click here. You can just click here after entering something, and it will kind of execute. Okay. Initially, it will take some time because it will be kind of assigning memory and it will be kind of creating compute and everything. So after that, you'll be able to run the things instantly. Just type in your Python code and click on run. But I suggest you to go with this PyCharm one. Okay, just try installing PyCharm and make start doing your practice. And while we are kind of going with the lecture and the class, you can make use of this collab notebook so that you can try line by line, which we are explaining in the slides. Okay. Okay, this is pretty much for today's session. Like you are welcome if you have any queries or any feedback. If you feel like I'm going bit fast, you can ask me to slow down, like any sort of feedback. Feel free to share it.
Okay, Manish.
So we are good, right? అండ్ మీరు ఈ కోడింగ్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఆ ఫైల్స్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో అవి వచ్చేసి పర్సనల్ గా షేర్ చేయండి. ఓకే, మేము ఇక్కడ టీమ్స్ విండో ఇది టీమ్స్ లో ఇది ఉంది కదా, పార్టిసిపెంట్స్కి వెళ్ళారనుకో ఇక్కడ నేమ్స్ వస్తాయి ఇవి. సో ఈ ఆర్గనైజర్ లోకి వెళ్ళేసి ఇక్కడ జస్ట్ పర్సనల్ గా పింక్ చేయండి మీ కోడ్ ఫైల్స్ అన్ని ఇక్కడ. ఓకే, సో బెటర్ ఓన్ గా ట్రై చేయండి ఏదైనా సరే. ఇప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ అసైన్మెంట్ ఏంటంటే ఆధార్ అప్లికేషన్. సో మీరు ఒక ఆధార్ అప్లికేషన్ డిజిటల్ గా క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నారు యూజింగ్ పైథాన్. సో అక్కడ ఏం చేస్తారంటే క్రియేట్ అన్ ఆధార్ అప్లికేషన్ విత్ బిలో డీటెయిల్స్. సో ఇక్కడ ఉండే డీటెయిల్స్ తో మీరు ఒక ఆధార్ అప్లికేషన్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి అప్లై చేసుకోవడానికి. సో ఇవి వచ్చేసి వేరియబుల్ నేమ్స్. ఈ నేమ్, డేట్ ఆఫ్ బర్త్ ఇవి ఉన్నాయి కదా, ఇవన్నీ వచ్చేసి వేరియబుల్స్, పైథాన్ వేరియబుల్స్. సో ఈ వేరియబుల్స్ కి వచ్చేసి మీరు అప్రోప్రియేట్ వాల్యూస్ ఇవ్వండి. ఇవన్నీ వేరియబుల్స్ యూ నీడ్ టు డిఫైన్ అండ్ అసైన్ అప్రాప్రియేట్ వాల్యూస్ టు ఈచ్ ఫీల్డ్. సో ఇవి వచ్చేసి అప్లికేషన్లో ఫీల్డ్స్ మన ఆధార్ అప్లికేషన్లో. పైథాన్లో మీరు ఏం చేయాలంటే ఇవి ఇనిషియలైజ్ చేసి ఈ నేమ్కి రెస్పెక్టివ్ వాల్యూ, అది ఎనీ వాల్యూ ఇవ్వండి. లైక్ మీ పర్సనల్ నేమ్స్ అవేం అవసరం లేదు, ఎనీథింగ్ ఏ వాల్యూ లైక్ అప్లికబుల్ అయితే అది ఇవ్వండి. సో ఇవన్నీ ఇచ్చిన తర్వాత సేమ్ ఇదే ఆర్డర్లో ప్రింట్ చేయాలి. ఈ డీటెయిల్స్ అన్ని ఇదే ఆర్డర్లో ప్రింట్ చేయాలి కన్సోల్లో. ఓకే.